A very good evening to you, our dear viewers. Thank you so much once again for allowing us into your space. It is the 31st of May 2024, and of course we are anticipating our jubilation in just a couple of days ahead. And of course a little bit later we do have our reporter on set at Namugongo who will be giving us the feel of what's transpiring there at Namugongo, how the business side is happening there, and how how the trekking, people still coming on, doing their pilgrimage towards Namugongo. We will be having that in just a short while, but first let's look at what's happening with the Presidential Press Unit, where President Museveni has met with Mama Maria Nyerere at State Lodge Nakasero. During the meeting, President Museveni praised Mama Maria for coming up with an idea of praying through the Uganda matters to ensure that the canonization of the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere materializes. President Museveni further expressed gratitude to God for giving Mama Maria a healthy life and for enabling her to come to Uganda every year for the good cause. On behalf of Mama Maria, Sir Eldina Maikondatu thanked President Museveni for loving the people of Tanzania and for always giving them a warm reception whenever they come to Uganda. Every 1st of June, ahead of the Uganda Martyrs' Day celebrations held on the 3rd of June, Mama Maria attends Nyerere beatification prayer day at Namugongo Catholic Shrine. On the 13th of May 2005, Pope Benedict declared Nyerere a servant of God, the first step towards his beatification and the canonization of sainthood. The former president of Tanzania, Mwalimu Nyerere, died on 14th of October 1999 at 77 years of age. Since 2009, the faithful have held the Mass at Namugongo ahead of the Martyrs' Day celebrations, with a congregation praying for the beatification of Nyerere. Nyerere's family is always represented in such prayers by Mama Maria Nyerere. Now, of course, that is Mama Maria commemorating that day, and of course also celebrating the late husband's death in that way. Now, still in Namugongo, as we anticipate the commemorating Martyrs' Day at the Namugongo Anglican Martyrs site on the 3rd of June, Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, visited the site where the celebrations will be taking place. Well, that story will be happening in our subsequent bulletin. We apologize for that. But in our next story, the early deployment of the security around Namugongo shrines has instilled confidence in the business community, with people optimistic about the safety of their valuables. Security patrols are steadily ramping up in preparation for the Martyrs' Day celebrations in Namugongo. Various security agencies, including the Uganda Police Force, Special Forces Command, counter-terrorism units, and the military are enhancing their presence.
With anticipated attendance of the President and other high-profile dignitaries' pilgrimage to Namugongo Martyrs site, the Special Forces Command has assumed control of security at the main entrances to ensure thorough checks of all entrants. A mobile police IT truck equipped with security cameras has been installed at the venue to facilitate a timely response to any emergencies. The business community remains optimistic about the safety of their enterprises, bolstered by the robust security deployment at Namugongo.
We have enough security here, so security is very tight. I thank the policemen.
However, there are calls for the police to focus on the preventing petty crimes such as the theft of valuables by individuals posing as pilgrims.
Security weriera nga we mugirabye teri muntu akwata munne mu nsawo kwegamba buli kimu kiri bulungi nga bannaffe bano we bali bave mu mirimu egy'abakifeesi okuba abantu emigere nga bye tulaba ku mativi naye bajje tukole.
Traffic diversions have been implemented to facilitate the smooth movement of pilgrims and reduce on congestion around the venue. Thus far, no serious security threats have been reported, and the situation is expected to remain calm throughout the event. Patricia Lukoma for UBC.
Thank you very much there, Patricia Lukoma. Just to introduce Mogalo Mohammed on sign language, he joined a little bit later in, and of course he is part of us to give us that part of sign language. Now, moving ahead, the leadership of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the East and Central African Division has inaugurated the newly created Busoga diocese in Eastern Uganda and enthroned Pastor Jimmy Kajura as the new bishop. The Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, represented President Yoweri Museveni at the event held in Iganga and thanked the House of Bishops under the leadership of Dr. Maka Moses and Dimokika for elevating Bishop Kajura to this new position.
Of this church, we requested our regional leader to grant us four brand new dioceses. I am happy to tell you today that they are here to inaugurate us for the 4 dioceses to make 12 dioceses. Busoga diocese being one of them.
I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I wish to thank Honorable Mile Babalanda, Minister for Presidency, for inviting me to witness the inauguration of the new field. I am happy to join the believers of Busoga Field to celebrate the consecration of our son, Bishop Jimmy Kajura. I congratulate you upon this spiritual achievement. I wish to thank the House of Bishops under the leadership of Dr. Maka Moses Ndimukika for for elevating you to this new position. I welcome all the spiritual leaders and other believers from different denominations who have come to attend this inauguration ceremony. I would like to thank Pastor Jeremiah Alisengawa for selflessly serving the Eastern Uganda Diocese with great vision and commitment towards nurturing the spiritual lives of the believers and also driving them towards development. As believers, we have other human needs that must be satisfied that include food, clothes, shelter, education, and medicine. And failure to attain these, one is considered to be living in poverty. Therefore, I call upon the Seventh-day Adventist Church to continue partnering with government in the wealth creation campaigns to eliminate poverty. His Excellency the President supported this ceremony with 30 million shillings, which was already sent. It was sent to the account, and the minister has a receipt as evidence. And His Excellency the President also asked me to share with you that he knows that he has not yet fulfilled the pledge of 5 vehicles for the 5 bishops of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And in the next financial year, which begins in July, that pledge will be fulfilled. And Busoga is a very NRM region. I want to thank you. Mwebale kwajira NRM. Ate mwebale kwajira President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Once again, I congratulate Bishop Jimmy Kajura upon this great milestone in the spiritual realm, and we wish you the best as you serve your people. I thank you.
Well, right now we'd want to go over to Namugongo, but of course, first and foremost, the commemoration, as we all know, of Uganda Matters Day is an event that is held annually on the 3rd of June in memory of a group of 22 Catholics and 23 Anglican converts of Christianity, or converts into Christianity in the historical kingdom of Buganda. Now, these converts, the converts were executed on orders of Kabaka Mwanga, and if we did an estimate, of course, some died on the 31st of January 1885 and others on the 27th of January 1887. Now, today being the 31st, we are just 2 days away to the D-Day. And our reporter, Patricia Lukoma, is on site to throw some light on what's transpiring at Namugongo. Michael Jordan, thank you so much for joining us. Now, just give us the feel of what's happening at Namugongo. We have had a couple of issues there to do with security, and then as well something to do with business, but we want to understand, you are the one on site. What's happening there?
Thank you so much, Patricia. Good evening to you watching UBC TV. Yes, we are coming to you live from the Catholic Matters Shrine. We have been at both sides, but right now I'm standing just adjacent to the main entrance of St. Charles Lwanga's Basilica here in Namugongo at the Catholic side. Namugongo is the whole place a beehive of activities right now, and one would say it is heated up by now. If you have been at the area during the season of the Matters Day celebrations, the feel is already up there. Security has been tightened. There is a heavy deployment of the UPDF and the Uganda Police Force everywhere to ensure safety of everybody that will be here. There are continuous arrivals of pilgrims from all over the world local and international, regional, are still coming in from near and far to be part of this year's celebrations. We were at the Anglican site between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The pilgrims were still flocking in and just are still coming in, more of them here at the Martyrs' Shrine. You talked of security, so that is the situation. Safety is being ensured as the numbers are increasing every other minute that goes on.
Traders were saying that the business is not so much moving like it used to be, or previous, like the previous year. The things are a little bit slow in terms of business. So what's the opinion there?
I think in the business sense, the pace of the business and the sales grow with the numbers as they grow. Because like I've just told you, pilgrims are lining up to enter, and the more they come in, it's the more the sales these people will register in their businesses. But just to give you a picture of the business kind of environment, I would request my cameraman to pan a little for you to see. People have erected stalls. There is a lot of merchandise to buy, and most especially in terms of what to eat and drink. There are even people who are selling clothes. You can see blankets. There are people that have come to tap into the opportunities around here. There are so many.
Yeah, I can see that.
The road has been blocked right from Chaliwajala at the center up to the other side past the Anglican site. So on the other side, on both sides, there are business people that are making money selling different things, as you can see on the screen. So business is booming. During the day, they may have said that it was slow, but probably because the tempo is just growing and heating up.
Okay.
Probably by tomorrow, they will have registered a lot of sales because the numbers are continuously growing, and they will have a different say tomorrow when we talk to them by evening tomorrow or by 3rd June.
Okay, Jordan, we understand that during the preparation days like these, like on 31st, we're expecting the mood to be more of, Christianity. Even music should be more of gospel music. But what's the feel there? Are we having any other kind of entertainment besides the gospel entertainment?
Wow. Definitely inside the prayer centers at the Catholic shrine, inside and just around, definitely the feel will be of music related to the matters, God and worship and praise. So will be the situation, or has always been the situation at the Anglican side. Inside the site, inside the chapel and the prayer center,
it's all about gospel.
But outside the shrine and the site, the music is totally different.
Okay.
Yes, it is entertainment. It's a little far, but people have erected entertainment points of different kinds in this area. For some people that come here are more of revelers than worshippers. Of course, the worshippers will be at the shrine. They are holding prayers as we speak right now. But of course, there are people that come for discoveries, having fun, and things like that. So there is entertainment in full beat, and there are people that have already started enjoying. There are people that have hired out or rented out their homes and compounds to turn them into disco points, bars, and things like that. So entertainment is also here in plenty, but of course, guided and manned in the whims of security to ensure that everybody has whatever they come to have safely.
Now, Jordan, in our top story, we talked, we had a story that covered Mama Maria Nyerere. And of course, she comes each and every year to canonize the late Mwalimu Nyerere. And she usually makes sure that this canonization materializes. So what's your take on that? What do you say about this, about the determination, about the consistency? She's here every year for the same reason. Even when she's not well, you see her into the country. And we thank His Excellency, the President of Uganda, who is always, in a mood of hospitality to welcome Mama Maria Nyerere into the country. So what's your take on that?
Yes, the people of Tanzania, not Mama Nyerere alone, but the people of Tanzania are holding a prayer. They pray that one day the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere be canonized and beatified as a saint. Okay. They have that prayer, and they are interceding that prayer through the Uganda Matters. So they pray that if Uganda, you had sons that were canonized and they became saints, we pray that our father of the nation, Julius Mwalimu Nyerere, be beatified and canonized as a saint. So they are passing their prayer through the Uganda Matters to see that the late Julius Nyerere gets that achievement. So that is why every 1st of June, there is mass here that is dedicated to that effect, and Mama Nyerere and people from Tanzania come to be part of that prayer to ensure that, to pray that it comes to reality, to see the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere be canonized and beatified to sainthood. So that is what their prayer is. They are praying it through the Uganda Matters to see that they get it. That's their prayer. That's what they yearn for, and we pray that God gives it to them.
Okay, thank you very much, Jordan. There, we are getting really a lot of insight on what's happening there. And now we want to understand, today being the 31st, tomorrow will be the 1st. And of course, when it comes to the 1st of June, we are all eager and anticipating. What's your expectation for the 1st and 2nd? Of course, the 3rd day, that is the D-Day. So the 1st and 2nd, what do you anticipate? Tomorrow.
Okay, now, the remaining days are for prayer mainly at all sites. But here at the Anglican, at the Catholic Church, tomorrow there is that mass for the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's beatification. It's going to be held here, and there are signs that probably His Excellency the President may be part of the mass that will be celebrated here, as he has normally attended it. But we shall have to see that if he will make it. But he has always attended that mass. At the Anglican site, they have the women's conference starting tomorrow on Saturday. They had the men's conference, the youth conference, the women's conference is starting tomorrow. Then still tomorrow, there will be some activities for the youth here, and the novena that will end tomorrow still here at the Anglican sites, among other activities, but mainly prayer. Inside the Basilica, people are praying. There is mass ongoing, and down at the lake, there are people that are praying, people are going for penance and things like that, just as at the Anglican site. So it is inside the shrine and the site, it's prayer peke yake. It is only outside that you will see somebody selling biscuits and things like that, but inside the site and the shrine, it is throughout prayer.
The mood is holy.
So tomorrow, here there will be the Julius Nyerere Mass and other activities in line of prayer. The other side of the Anglican, there will be the women's conference, which is also involving a lot of prayer and things like that.
So in just brief words, the mood inside is a bit holy, and the mood outside is a little more circular. Thank you very much, Jordan. There, exactly. I know the network has been disturbing a little bit, but thank you so much for the insight, and we will get back to you as the story unfolds, as we get to understand what's happening there. Thank you so much. Now, as we move ahead, hundreds of vendors have seized the opportunity presented by the upcoming Martyrs' Day celebrations, setting up stalls among and along Namugongo Road in hopes of capitalizing on the influx of visitors and pilgrims. Despite concerns about the purchasing power of attendees, traders remain optimistic about the potential of lucrative sales in a short time.
Continue to pour into the Namugongo martyr shrines. The atmosphere is charged with excitement and anticipation. The stretch from Chaliwajala to the Anglican shrine, spanning approximately 3 kilometers, has been transformed into a bustling marketplace adorned with vendors, mobile restaurants and entertainment spots. The vendors, many of whom have a long-standing relationship with the event and its economic opportunities, have strategically positioned themselves both inside and near the shrine. shrines. Their stalls offer a diverse array of goods and services. However, despite the buzz surrounding this year's celebrations, some vendors like Amina from Mutungo voice frustrations about the current situation.
Some of the business people that we have talked to and are stretched on this line came here with a lot of expectation, but currently they are a bit frustrated by the turn-up of the buyers.
Abantu bangi naye tebannagulako n'akamu. Security yo nnungi naye emirimu teginnatambula.
Bizinesi y'abantu mubalaba balumaggamagga abantu si bangi nnyo. Abantu si bangi nnyo kati mba tubalinzeemu okkolwa enkya tulabe oba enkya banaakola ki oba banaawera.
Their concerns are re-echoed by others such as Kalule Ibra, whom we spoke with during our interactions.
This is my first time to come here, so that many people told me that they work from here too much money, and me I have come to see whether I can get, but nothing I have gotten. Yeah.
Nevertheless, amidst these challenges, there remains a sense of hope and anticipation as the main event draws nearer.
We are going to earn money because very many people are here want things. They're going to go with the clothes and so on.
With over 1 million pilgrims expected to converge on Namugongo on the 3rd of June 2024, there are potential for substantial business gains.
It is just 2 days to the Martyrs' Day celebrations, and already the vicinity of the Namugongo Martyr Shrine is a beehive of activity. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Dennis Sigo. Now let's take a look at how Namugongo will look in the night. As we know, traders at Namugongo Shrine have complained about the financial struggles of this year's pilgrims despite the arrivals and heightened security. There were a few signs of usual battling activity.
At around 10 p.m., we arrived at Namugongo Anglican Martyrs site, where we found Christians deeply engaged in the mission night crusade with songs of praise and worship. During the overnight crusade, many Christians experienced deliverance, with several giving their lives unto Jesus. The overnight crusade featured various preachers delivering the word of God to the assembled Christians.
Kale tulowooza nfe tujja kwogera ekyo ekitugwanidde okwogera kubanga bwe twogera Katonda ky'ayagala ate ye Katonda y'akola. Kuffe tekuli mulokozi, omulokozi ye Yesu. Kati oyo gwe tukola ki? Moment, the gospel has been preached. We have a record of over 30 people that have come to the Lord today. And tomorrow we are going to take it to another level because we want to get to the stalls.
Reverend Simon Peter Demberia Yesu, the provincial head of Mission Church of Uganda, encouraged Christians to join the crusade, which will run until 2nd of June.
On Sunday we shall have services around here, but also have a mega overnight. Now, the overnight of the 2nd, which is Sunday, will happen in the amphitheater because by then we expect that all the masses will be here. The men that God has called for that day are already in place, and we are excited about it.
We also observed the situation at the Anglican Martyrs site during the night. Unlike the bustling activities during the day, the site was calm at night, with some businesses closed. After engaging in the mission crusade, it was time for Christians to rest at night.
Many have traveled long distances, so we can't keep them on tension throughout the night. We want to have a cool in the night so that people can really have a moment to rest.
While Christians rested, security personnel were working diligently to ensure they are safe, patrolling the area throughout the night. We also visited the amphitheater, which was lit up with some decorations, adding to the slain nighttime atmosphere. At the entrance, security was actively checking those entering and leaving the site. By midday, as we left the Namugongo Anglican Matters site, the atmosphere was completely calm, with most people asleep. Deborah Namamonde, Tanaba Kenneth, UBC News.
We see that everyone is geared towards the D-Day. Still at Namugongo, as we anticipate commemorating Martyrs' Day celebrations at Namugongo Anglican Martyrs site on the 3rd of June, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, visited the site where the celebrations will be taking place.
Upon his arrival, Archbishop Kazimba Mugalu was welcomed by the chairperson organizing committee, Right Reverend Ruben Kisembo, along with other bishops, including the Bishop of Namilembe Diocese, Right Reverend Moses Banja. Among those welcoming him were Christians engaged in a mission crusade. For their second day, Archbishop Kazimba joined them in praise and worship. During his visit, Archbishop Kazimba preached to the Christians, thanking them for participating in Martyrs celebrations, but also cautioning them against acts of immorality.
And these patterns of this world are not good for our kingdom. We are called to conform to God's truth, because this world is full of lies. Even some of the things we hear from scriptures, they are lies. It's not the real truth. Don't think that whoever stands up to say, I am saved, I am saved, they are all saved. Some people are liars.
Archbishop Kazimba emphasized the importance of understanding the significance of coming to Namugongo rather than just walking from their respective places. He also toured the amphitheater, where the main service will be held on June 3rd, 2024. He applauded the Midwest cluster for their preparations and called upon Christians to embrace Martyrs' Day come June 3rd, 2024.
People who have come to support us, the choirs, 300 choir members will be singing tomorrow. Unbelievable. I am looking forward to the hymns and also eviction. And I want to invite all men and women to come and worship on the 3rd June, so that we worship the King of Kings, who gave that perseverance, resilience, and his strength to these younger men who were burnt alive singing.
From here, he also toured the Museum Center, where he addressed the media.
And I pray that you people who are driving, you drive slowly. People who are walking, also be mindful of the vehicles. Border, you are bringing the people. Please, be careful.
During the press conference, Right Reverend Ruben Kisembo, the chairperson of the organizing committee, highlighted that over 1,000 pilgrims have already arrived at the site.
We had 370 pilgrims from Rwenzori Diocese, North Ankole with 185 pilgrims. We have 200 pilgrims who have arrived North Mbale. Tororo, 42 pilgrims. Northern Uganda Diocese, I think, 37 pilgrims who have arrived. South Ankole, 179 pilgrims. Masindi Kitara, 44 pilgrims. And then Namilembe Diocese has 203 pilgrims.
Bishop George Kasangachi shared insights about the choir's preparations for Martyrs' Day.
They are there sharpening their voices and trying to harmonize and ensure that everything is fine. Before coming here, I talked to their leader, Reverend David Aguma, assured me that everything is perfect. They are going on well. They don't have any problem.
Deborah Namamonde, Tanaba Kenneth, UBC News.
Thank you once again, Deborah Namamonde. Now, Uganda People's Defense Forces say that General Peter has no criminal record that warrants sanctions from anybody or any organization. UPDF Deputy Spokesperson Kanodeo Akiki says the General remains a committed, crime-free officer willing to continue serving in his country, Uganda. This breaking of silence follows sanctions that the United States of America slapped on Ugandan officials, including former Deputy CDF General Peter Elwelo. Akiki wants those announcing sanctions to share with the UPDF reports of their investigations on the General.
First of all, we have heard of the sanctions against General Peter Elwelo. This is not the first time. And these sanctions affect General Elwelo as an individual, and therefore they have no consequence to the institution of the UPDF, indeed to the country. General Peter Elwelo himself, he has told you that going to the United States or any other country is of no consequence to him. And therefore, his sanctioning, maybe even himself does not know to what extent it affects him. But as far as we know, as an institution of the UPDF, or Ministry of Defense, the sanctions are of no consequence to us. We thought that a sanction is given to someone as a punishment, probably, to make sure there is something he loses. The General himself said he has nothing to lose. And therefore, we don't think that these sanctions have consequences, and we are not so sure what was the intention of the sanction. Was it punishing? Is it for a remedy to something? We are not aware, because the details of those sanctions are not with us. We've heard them from the media. Number two, as far as the UPDF is concerned, Lieutenant General Peter Elwelo has no any criminal record in the UPDF. He has commanded wars, he has served as a deputy CDF, he has never been taken to any courts of law, either by the UPDF or by any civil entity, accusing him of any crimes committed. And therefore he remains a committed and criminal-free UPDF officer according to our records. And now, he diligently served as a deputy CDF, and he has been appointed of recent a senior presidential advisor. That the General Elwelo we know until anybody or any competent court comes out and says he has a case to answer. Maybe another thing we can talk of is the people who are putting the sanctions. The reasons why they sanctioning General Elwelo are brief to them, because they did not share with us the investigations they did. As far as we know, the incident of Kasese that happened, the matter has been before the courts of law. Those who were accused and arrested are undergoing the court procedures. Others have been acquitted. Others are still in court.
Kira mulimo gwenkola gukanikira baba customer kwa wasobuni kimba no bwiro obukutwala sente isomero ati ncho amukolesa enkola ya MTN mobile money ni migasta 10 nkaga na 5 star kinana ash ntekam kodi namba y'omwana genda sente ni sasola ku lunyi ino kuterimaniziwa koni katunge simu kuruga mu MTN bantereire kubantereire okubanza ntakikirize nkaba amanyire bali bafere. Hanyuma nagenda nakakuza MTN yao nagamba ntungire simu ino kuruga mu MTN kyamazima okuba nkabanta amanyire nti aliyo promotion. Hanyuma madamu akola MTN yangambira kyamazima kubasima muno mwebale muno akasente kabaire kenja kusasula school fees tamwe kujja bakasasulire akandi nja kasasuliramu bagenzi baye abatabandi mwebale mu.
Together we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot with baby Junior Jelly.
So tried their targets and would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior Jelly. Baby Junior the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior. Baby Junior.
What is a dream? What does it mean to you? To her? To them? It's time we dare to dream anew. Dream bigger, better, bolder. Let's dare to dream of tomorrow, today, of someday, of the hope that comes with change, of a change that transforms lives. That glimmer in your eyes, the prospect of maybe, of all the hopes that we carry. It's the promise of enjoyments, co-enjoyments for you and your mates. Dream keeps us going. It's the one thing that drives us, inspires us, motivates us. One goal, one hope, one dream. With the Uganda National Lottery, your dream can become a reality. Bigger is here. What's your one thing?
Welcome back. Now, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation's new board of directors have made a fervent appeal to the government for financial support aimed at procuring essential digital equipment crucial for enhancing production capabilities. Highlighting the pressing need for funding, the board emphasizes its urgency in addressing installation sites requirements and, of course, remunerating staff adequately and undertaking necessary repairs in its studios.
As the new Uganda Broadcasting Corporation Board of Directors concludes a comprehensive tour of UBC assets in Western Uganda, the board has appealed for more funds to facilitate the procurement of new digital equipment, a move essential for elevating production standards. Uganda Broadcasting Corporation chairperson expressed the board's commitment to addressing the challenges faced by the corporation, particularly during visits in various installation sites in Kasese, Chenjojo, and Bundibujo.
And we also appeal really to government really to assist us in having really give us funds to see that we replace the equipment so that really now UBC can start operating at its optimum level.
The equipment is, most of the equipment is obsolete. Two, again, touching on equipment and satellite connectivity, because with digital migration, when we migrated from analog to digital terrestrial transmission for television, we rely on satellite. So the satellite is down because we haven't paid the fees, and we need to keep all the transmission sites fired up to make sure that, that they're up and running, because even though if you had a car and parked it for 3 months, you need to service it when you get back to trying to start it.
In their address to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation's Bundibujo staff, they underscored critical issues concerning equipment and human resource management.
I think with this new board and the board coming on here, there's going to be a very big change, because since the establishment of this radio station, at least the board members have tried their level best to be coming and seeing the challenges that we face with.
I think that we have enough presence and infrastructure base in terms especially of real estates, the land. So basically what we need to do is to see how to put what we have to better use to make service delivery better.
A lot of assets have dilapidated and they need to be replaced. Others need to be renovated, especially the premises in upcountry areas. And indeed, it is evident also that our network is not 100% up there, which needs, of course, improvement.
The Managing Director, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, Winston Nagaba, remains optimistic that the identified challenges will be effectively addressed.
Looking at avenues of how do we raise the needed investment. And this, we're not only going to rely on government funding, but we want to see how we leverage our assets. How do we leverage the assets that we hold into equity that can equip the stations, that can equip UBC?
The board plans to embark on similar familiarization tours across eastern, central and northern Uganda in the coming weeks. Sada Mubale, UBC News.
Now, the Minister for Presidency, Millie Babidye Babalanda, accompanied by the State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has ordered for the arrest of an official from the State House over land-related issues. Now, Kazibwe is allegedly accused of exploiting Babalanda's name to unlawfully acquire land and abuse his position. The ministers initiated this action during the investigative visit to Namala Islands in Buwama, Mpigi district, aimed at addressing land-related grievances affecting the local residents.
The Minister for Presidency, Millie Babidye Babalanda, has directed law enforcement agencies to apprehend Kazibwe and pursue legal action against him for defamation and land grabbing.
Situmangako muntu yenna kudiringa mu byettaka on my behalf. Nti oba nina omuntu yenna gwe natuma adiringe mu byettaka ng'akolera nze. Eyo simutumangako era simulina. Era bw'abaayo kati ndagidde RDC okukwata omuntu oyo. RDC akwata omuntu oyo akozesa erinnya lyange.
Ku bantu bano boolaba babonaabona entakera eddoboozi liva mu State House. Mwami Kazibwe mukozi wa gavumenti era akola mu State House. Naye kozze nga gwovunaanyizibwa ku maka g'obwa President. Maama tujja kusaba otunnyonnyole bulungi Mwami Kazibwe kifo kikyalina mu State House. Omusirikale gwe bayita Regional CID Deogracias Obongo oba akyaliwo oba takyaliyo naye ne gy'alaze bw'abanga yagenda baakukaaba agajulujulu.
State Minister for Lands Dr. Sam Mayanja highlighted the illegality of evicting residents from their land and instructed security forces to promptly prosecute Kazibwe.
Busoga threatening violence okubatisa endala bagiyita forceful entry okweyingiza ku bibanja byammwe nga temukkiriza malicious damage to property ebintu byammwe byonna bye boonoonye.
Mayanja tasked Mpigi RDC Sempala Chigozi with ensuring the safe return of over 300 residents facing eviction from their bibanjas. Over 300 residents have already been displaced from their bibanjas, encompassing over 300 acres of land on Namala Island in Buwama, Mpigi district. Mary Namkose, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Well, now the Minister of State for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, has commended the remarkable performance and recovery rate of Musoga Savings and Credit Cooperatives and Kapchora district. The visit, organized by the Microfinance Support Center, is to assess the implementation of Musoga revolving funds in Sebei sub-region highlighting standout enterprises such as the Kapchora Municipal Women's Entrepreneurs, Emioga Sacco, Kapchora Tailors Sacco, and persons with disabilities, Emioga Sacco. Let's hear more in this report.
The Minister of State for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, has expressed admiration for the Emioga Savings and Credit Cooperatives for its significant contribution to increasing household incomes, particularly among women in Kapchora district. The Emioga Savings and Credit Cooperatives are said to be actively empowering rural communities with a focus on women by effectively utilizing the revolving funds received from the Microfinance Support Center. During the monitoring and evaluation exercise, it was noted that these Emioga groups have diversified into value-added production, further enhancing their economic impact.
The films we gave out 18,900,000. We recovered 100%.
We dispersed 17,475,000. Our recovery was 100%.
We are now empowered through this program, and we really appreciate the government of Uganda, especially our president.
Minister Kasolo, impressed by their performance, pledged increased government support and encouraged communities to continue embracing wealth creation initiatives.
I received a wonderful report, successful report from women entrepreneurs, and I want to commit my total support to all the Emioga groups. Every financial year, we shall be funding your circles with 20 million shillings. But the area DC has to confirm that you exist.
Local district authorities and the district resident commissioners are collaborating closely with the Emioga leadership to ensure proper implementation of the funds according to guidelines, fostering transparency and accountability.
Engage constituency performing artists. At least they have loans of 44.8 and recovery is 35,546,000. I know my people are very hardworking people. Given enough money, they can do better.
The Emioga revolving funds, administered by the Microfinance Support Center, are driving economic empowerment across various demographics, including youth, women and persons with disabilities, by facilitating the formation of enterprises and fostering savings and investment. I'm Nafka Farida and Robert Bwaita for UBC.
Oh, you like to stay fresh. You wanna come beach and be my yeah. Lighting. I can make a light to know.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
Now in sports, a sports club Villa players and officials have been congratulated by their sponsors Linglong, to whom they officially handed over the Uganda Premier League trophy. Now fresh from their triumph in Uganda Premier League, SC Villa players and officials were commended by their sponsors.
Our team, Sports Club Villa.
Fresh from winning the Uganda Premier League title after a pulsating season, Sports Club Villa players and officials have been congratulated by their sponsors Linglong.
We are looking ahead. Winning the trophy is now an event in history. And as a club, we must move forward. We must move beyond what has happened in the past. As we celebrate, we also do have work to do. A lot of work to do. This is all work in progress. Therefore, we still commit ourselves to continuous player development, maintaining high performance from our players, and more involvement with the community. We look to future investments in youth development to ensure a steady pipeline of talent.
To the league and another record-extending 17th crown, SC Villa solved study competition in Bull FC, Vipers SC and Kitara to win by a point, with 57 collected.
We thank our sponsors, the Lingdom Tires. It has indeed been a long journey. Journey full of sacrifice, hurdles. Linglong has been with us all the way throughout the season. And I would like to take this opportunity to also thank the club president, Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great work you've been doing for the club. And I also would like to thank the players and the coaching staff. Thank you for the great effort and the great work you've done throughout the season.
Sports Club Villa now has the mandate to represent Uganda on the continent with the CAF Champions League, the pinnacle.
Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for being a part of us. But of course, just before we sign out, Uganda Cranes have started training ahead of the crucial World Cup qualifiers games against Botswana next Friday and Algeria 3 days later. The training at Mandela National Stadium outside pitch was under the guidance of the head coach, Paul Put.
Paul Put took over the reins at Uganda Cranes last year and presided over the first two 2026 World Cup qualifiers that included a loss to Guinea and a victory over Somalia in games played on neutral ground. But now, with Mandela National Stadium Nambole back in shape after tremendous work by Uganda People's Defence Forces, his message to all is this simple.
If you're not mentally ready for this, then it's better that you stay at home. So I am expecting from all my players, because we have convocated 28 players. Also, we have problems in this issue with players who has to play on the 2nd of June, who didn't receive the go-ahead to leave earlier. So we have 8 players who is coming after the 4th and the 5th. So to prepare the game of Botswana in Algeria is very difficult, I can tell you. But I believe, and I told the players, if you not can do it now, you will never do it.
He has taken players through the initial training session ahead of 2 World Cup qualifiers starting with Botswana next Friday and Algeria 3 days later. He is impressed by the quality at his disposal and believes the team will gel and excel.
Today it was a little bit of touching the ball, getting confidence, first training. Some players, everybody have been receiving an individual program. But you know, when you do an individual program, you have to see it's not the same that you are working on the pitch. But I was a little bit surprised. It went good, not bad. Also from the new players, I saw some positive things. But the most important thing was today to get confidence on the ball, to play a little bit out of the positions, what we are going to try to do against the teams like Botswana.
The training session today had 20 of the 28 summoned players.
Of course, it's always a great pleasure to represent the country. It's every player's dream to represent the country and the flag at the highest level, which is the World Cup qualifiers at the moment. So to me, I feel blessed to be here again.
Uganda is in Group G alongside table toppers Algeria that has 6 points, while the Cranes like Guinea, Mozambique and Botswana all have 3, while Somalia is pointless. The CAF qualification trail is of 9 groups whose toppers will qualify for the 2026 World Cup to be co-hosted by Mexico, Canada and USA. The best 4 second-placed teams will earn an intercontinental playoff slot.
Now that's it. That's all we had time for. for the news at 8, but do not go away. We will meet again at 10 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Mugalu Mohammed has been with us on sign language. Let's leave you with the weather forecast.
Well, it is yet another hot day across much of Uganda today, but nevertheless, we did see those rains again for parts of the Western Strait, as well as some of the areas within the central part of Uganda. And we could be looking at a similar situation even tonight. We're looking at the satellite analysis showing that we have that low pressure system over the Indian Ocean. Now that is reducing the wet activities that would be experienced across our country, although we're still seeing a local some of the rains that we have for several places within the country. Now tomorrow in the morning we do expect to start off with those rains that will be across the central part of the Lake Victoria Basin, but much of central Uganda will be having mostly sunny conditions with intervals of cloudy conditions. Talking of which, you also do expect similar weather for the Western Strait, and that will be across several places, and the same weather conditions predicted for the eastern part of Uganda, mostly sunny for Soroti. And looking at the northern half of the country, we're looking at mostly sunny intervals for the Karamoja region. We'll also be seeing much of that across the rest of the region. As we cross into the afternoon, we will be looking at those sunny intervals again for much of central, and quite a warm day is forecast for Nakasongola at 31 degrees centigrade. The nation's capital, Kampala, will be at 29 degrees. Also looking at the western part of the country, we're looking at mostly a sunny day for Kasese, hot weather over there at 32 degrees with sunny intervals. We're also likely to have those rains come through for midwestern and southwestern part of the country. And also looking at the eastern sector, we do expect to have mostly sunny intervals for the area, and also a warm day for much of the region. Now looking at the northern half of the country, we'll still be looking at those sunny intervals for the Karamoja region, but take a look at the temperatures there. We have a 32. It's going to be a warm one. We do expect some of the rains to come through, especially for the central parts of northern Uganda, as well as the Choga region and West Nile. Some of the cities that we have for you across the world, we are forecasting rainy conditions for Nairobi at a chilly 26 degrees. Also be looking at sunny intervals for London and Dubai. A sunny day is forecast for Cairo at 39 degrees centigrade. Very, very hot weather over there. Same weather also predicted for Dubai at 39 degrees. Now that brings us to the end of tonight's weather report. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Molen Kenyana. I want to wish you a good day tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Cheers to something refreshingly different. Putting the brakes on a fast-paced world. Slowing down. Just enough to stand out. Cheers to the beer that does it differently. Brewed longer for extra refreshment. Refreshingly Club. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Uganda! Who's ready for game-changing, dream-making opportunities? There's so many ways to play with the Uganda National Lottery. Play a little, win a lotto this Saturday. Win a guaranteed 1 billion shillings. Get ready to win and cheer because the Powerball jackpot is here. Dream big and win bigger with guaranteed 1.5 billion shillings. It's enjoyments with it daily with Daily Lotto with guaranteed 40 million shillings. Don't miss your chance to win big every day. Test your football knowledge with Sports Stake 10. Predict the outcome of 10 football matches